We got a good one on tap for you here this afternoon. One of the best rivalries in all the NPSL. Detroit City FC, AFC Ann Arbor. Not much else needs to be said. We'll kick it coming up next.
Soccer is a game of lines. An out of bounds shifts the flow. An offsides prevents a rush. The ball soars into the goal. Borders make up the game. But for the sport to take root in Detroit, it took a community unafraid to blur the borders. Since its founding in 2012, Detroit City FC has grown to become the most positive story in the American game. But soccer didn't just appear in our city 6 years ago. Professional soccer made its debut in 1967 when William Clay Ford founded the Cougars, so named for the car his company debuted that very same year. And over in Scotland, Detroiter Gil Heron broke the color barrier, suiting up for Celtic in 1951. You can still hear stories about the Black Arrow in Glasgow pubs. But back home in Detroit bars, the sport was on the sidelines. Filling a soccer stadium just didn't seem possible. Of course, they say the best way to spot Detroiters is to tell them that something is impossible. Then sit back and watch what they do. Detroit City FC first took the field at Cass Tech High School. A roster of homegrown amateurs and former pros, Les Rouges put on such a show that it again begged the old question. Is Detroit finally ready for soccer? This time, 1,000 voices answer. Surrounded by a city built on hard work and commitment, the players left everything on the field. And the supporters responded with a dedication of their own. The border between possible and impossible began to blur. Cass Tech couldn't contain the enthusiasm, so with the help of supporter investments, the club moved to Hamtramck. Keyworth Stadium sits in the middle of our state's most diverse city, which itself happens to be in the middle of Detroit. And inside that stadium, borders became bonds. A team playing for its community. A community lifting a team to all new heights. A club bringing the rest of the world here to Detroit. The message of the DCFC generation is clear. These lines, these differences, on the field and off, they don't separate us. They connect us. They make us stronger. Come and get it. 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 Come and...
Good evening, everybody. Welcome inside historic Keyworth Stadium, where today, folks, we have a good one in store for you. AFC Ann Arbor and Detroit City FC. Alongside my broadcast partner, John Krieger, my name is Neil Rule. Happy to have you with us wherever you may be watching around the world. And, John, maybe the best rivalry in all the MPSL, Detroit City and Ann Arbor, nothing much needs to be said.
No, these two teams don't like each other very much, Neil. The last time they were here, a great day for Detroit City FC in last year's regional championship. But today, it's all about JWB. Just win, baby.
Last time these two teams hooked up earlier on in the season, AFC Ann Arbor and Detroit City played a slugfest, a 1-0 Ann Arbor win in stoppage time. If you're Detroit City, you have to retaliate today.
You absolutely do. You got to get the win on home soil, and you got to keep pace in the conference race.
And speaking of the conference race, let's take a look at the table here for the Great Lakes region. And as we see Ann Arbor sitting on top of the pack right now, John, if you fancy yourself a division title contender, and certainly Detroit City FC does, you pretty much have to win here today.
Well, you have games in hand, but you got to also keep pace with points. And if Detroit City wants to take a run at the conference championship, they got to get 3.
Let's take a look at the starting 11 powered by DTE Energy. And, John, a little bit different look than Detroit City fans are accustomed to. different offensively, certainly.
Well, Danny Deacon's going to be big up front. He's going to have to drive the offense. Also, Ben Pierman could line up in a 4-4-2, giving a lot of respect to AFC Ann Arbor's midfield. It's going to be interesting to see how, though, that transitions into attack.
One thing will be interesting for sure, this matchup here today, Detroit City FC and the Mighty Oak, and we will kick it coming up next. Welcome back to Keyworth Stadium, just moments away from the opening kick here, Detroit City FC and AFC Ann Arbor. Neil Rule, John Krieger, back with you. Lindsey Pearson, our sideline reporter, who will catch up with Detroit City FC head coach Ben Pierman at the halftime break. The Northern Guard ready. And John, it was funny being a Sunday. Maybe there was a little bit of a lack of energy in the building, but as game time has approached, that group right there, the Northern Guard, you and I were sitting here listening to some of the pregame festivities and stuff that was going on. Those guys are ready to rock here tonight.
The color was out in full force, Neil, and that's what makes a Detroit City match day special. But you're right, it was kind of a lazy start to the day. AFC Ann Arbor kind of went through a light warm-up, and so did City, and there was a kind of a lack of a buzz here at Keyworth. But now, right before kickoff, that buzz is in full effect, and it's worthy and warranted for the game that we have today, because this really is a game for control, a match for control of the Great Lakes Conference. If City wins, it's game on. They have a game in hand. They control their destiny the rest of the way. If AFC Ann Arbor were to win today and get all 6 points from the two fixtures this year, all of a sudden they're in a driver's seat. City has to hope that a team that has only conceded 2 goals in the league all year somehow drops points further down the line, having given away the chance against them here at Keyworth. So you struggle to use the hyperbole or the word must win at this point in the season, but that's where we are. It is a must-win opportunity. City needs to get the 3 points.
Certainly nothing new for these two sides to be playing for the highest stakes, and all the pundits and everybody that talks about the MPSL said it was going to be a Detroit City FC, AFC Ann Arbor race to the end. That certainly is the way that it is shaping up. But that stoppage time goal looms large for Ann Arbor that they got earlier in the month of May. So Detroit City FC playing catch up a bit, but they will have the home pitch advantage here this afternoon between these two sides. They have to make it stand up, as we've been talking about here all afternoon long. Get used to it, John, because that's a theme we're going to keep coming back to again. You don't want to talk about must-win games before Father's Day early on in June, but it just can't be overstated. That's what this is here. Make no mistake.
Absolutely. That's exactly what it is. You've already lost at their place, and it was a game a match you probably shouldn't have lost, because it was really a tight match both ways. AFC Ann Arbor gets the lucky stoppage time goal, and they would tell you it was lucky. They get a lucky stoppage time goal, they win. You've got to come back and take care of business on your home patch, because you're done playing them this year. It's out of your hands. Interesting to note, by the way, as we begin to focus on the ins and outs of this match, the lineup that City is putting forward and the formation that we will likely see. I thought in our open it might be a 4-4-2. It looks like, as we've had a chance to watch players during warm-up, it might even be a 4-2-3-1. So you've got those two holding mids in front of that back four. That's respect for the fact that AFC Ann Arbor, just like Detroit City, is so quick on the counter. You want to have those two guys in front take a little bit of the pressure and also allow those three midfielders in front of them to be more forward and provide service. So Ben Pierman moving away from his 4-3-3, perhaps somewhat enforced by the injuries that are in the City squad and also some players not with City today. But they've moved to this 4-2-3-1 formation to try to take some pressure off the back line and to be able to let the front four have a little more freedom without having to worry to track back.
You would figure goals are going to be at a premium here today for Detroit City FC. AFC Ann Arbor has conceded just 2, 1-2 goals all season long. Let's send it out to our starting lineups presented by DTE Energy. For today's walkout, the teams are joined by players from the Dearborn Soccer Club. Let's send it over to the PA announcer, Club Ted. That's right, it's Ted Shoemaker on a Sunday Fun Day.
Please welcome AFC Ann Arbor and your Detroit City FC. Alongside Detroit City FC for tonight's walkout with LaRouge, presented by Detroit City Fieldhouse, our players from Dearborn Heights Soccer Club. And now for tonight's starting lineups, powered by DTE Energy. For AFC Ann Arbor, number 20, Mark Ibarra. Number 17, Jack Cowley. Number 16, Stanley Akumu. Number 15, Bruno. Number 10, Michael Shakely. Number 12, Serge Gamwanya. Number 11, Aze Leati. Number 6, Jordan Montoya. Number 4, Chris Odhayambo. Number 3, Seer Chan Sihan. Number 1, Mike Novotny. Head coach of AFC Ann Arbor is Eric Rudland. Your officials for tonight's match are Nick Balser, David Ashaki, Kira Vandenbecken, and Giuseppe Augusto. And now for your Detroit City FC starting 11. Number 44, Danny Deacon. Number 35, Jake Rudell. Number 25, Tyler Stevens. Number 22, Elliot Bentley. Number 19, Adan Garcia. Number 14, Brad Santala. Number 10, Cyrus Sadie. Number 5, Stephen Carroll. Number 3, Jimmy Fiskus. Number 1, Fernando Pina. And your captain tonight, number 18, David Edwardson. Head coach of Detroit City FC is Ben Pierman. Associate head coach of Detroit City FC is Cale Wasserman. Technical advisor is Klaus DeBoer. Assistant coaches are Jordan Andrews, Josh Rogers, and Brett Mullen. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats for the national anthem, led by Detroit City FC supporters section.
Northern Guard bringing the heat here today with our national anthem. As business is picking up here at historic Keyworth Stadium. Neil Rule, John Krieger back with you. We are just about ready to roll. We've talked about it all open long. A huge matchup as we peep the Great Lakes Conference Division table. AFC Ann Arbor is sitting on top. Detroit City FC wants to keep pace. They have to with a win here today. Let's take a look at our kickoff weather for tonight. 67 degrees, cloudy overcast skies, winds out of the east about 12 miles per hour. So, John, the wind, not robust, but could be a factor at times, just enough.
Just enough of a factor, especially on high set pieces, corners. If you're going to try to hang it up into the wind, if you're kicking into it, it requires better placement. If you are on the opposite side, you've got to take something off because you know it's going to ride the breeze on those set pieces as it freshens up just a little bit. 4 players I want you to watch today, Neil. 2 on the defensive end, 2 on the offensive end. Frankly, the 2 keepers are the biggest players in today's match. Fernando Pena there in the number 1 for Detroit City FC, and then Mike Novotny for AFC Ann Arbor, who's a 2-time member of NPSL Teams of the Week this season. They are, for my money, the 2 best keepers in the Great Lakes Conference. On the other side of the ball, you've got number 20, Mark Ibarra for AFC Ann Arbor. He is pacey, he is cagey, he finds space, he can score and create from the midfield. And then for Detroit City, I want you to watch Jake Rudell up front. He's going to lead the line. He's one of the newer additions to the Detroit City FC squad. He's going to be leading the line solo today because of the fact that City has some players out. And so in that 4-2-3-1, he's going to be alone against the 2 AFC Ann Arbor center backs. He has to be able to win that matchup, create space, and give a target for the service that he can get from Danny Deacon. So I want you to watch those players as we get underway for the battle of the driver's seat of the Great Lakes Conference.
We are underway here at Keyworth Stadium. As Chris Odiambo puts it in play for AFC Ann Arbor. It'll be Jimmy Fiskus on the control. Fiskus, as you see, with that club on his right hand. But luckily for him, the hands don't come into play, so Jimmy Fiskus is out there. First team all Big Ten performer at Michigan State last year. Had a game-winning goal against Western Michigan that put MSU in the Elite 8 of the NCAA tournament as the smoke pours out of the Northern Guard supporter section early on.
Worth noting, by the way, that smoke, Neil, rainbow smoke in honor of the Pride Raiser campaign. City faithful and the Northern Guard pledging $748.02 for every goal the club scores in the month of June, home and away. So far, 9 goals have been scored by Detroit City in their 2 matches. That means $6,732.08 going to the Ruth Ellis Center in Detroit to help out the LGBT community. If you are interested in making a pledge and supporting Pride Raiser, the website, prideraiser.org.
The first 9 minutes of this Watch City stream are brought to you by Wheelhouse Detroit. Wheelhouse offers retail, service, rentals, bike tours, and for anyone interested in riding up to Keyworth, a free bike valet on all DCFC match days. Wheelhouse Detroit with locations in Hamtramck and downtown Detroit. For the first time that I can recall, a smoke delay, as the match was just a rumor up here in the broadcast booth. But Fernando Pena looking sharp in that all-black keeper's kit. Gets things rolling, and away we go. That ball just played over the touchline, a throw incoming to AFC Ann Arbor, coming off a 1-1 draw at home against Milwaukee. Certainly not an expected result for the Mighty Oak, who, as we said earlier, have conceded just 2 goals all season long. Detroit City FC coming off that 1-1 draw down in Columbus.
And frankly, Neil, they controlled that match. Columbus came up and led 1-0. Detroit City had to fight for an equalizer. Danny Deacon, by all accounts, the best player on the pitch for either side. And there were a couple of shots off the woodwork and a couple of fluff chances. City could have come away with all 3 points, but they didn't. That's sometimes life away in the NPSL. The good news for City fans, though, Milwaukee Torrent helping out, getting the draw. City still have a match in hand. They still control their own destiny in the Great Lakes Conference, but that starts with needing a win today.
Long ball served ahead. Tyler Stevens, the target. That will elude him and trickle over the goal line for a goal kick. Mike Novotny will put the leather to it. College goalkeeper at Eastern Illinois, was the 2017 Summit League Goalkeeper of the Year. He had an NCAA single game high 16 saves against Western Michigan last year. He has played at a high level. Here comes an opportunity. Right foot shot. Goes just wide by Gamwanya. So Serge Gamwanya who had a goal against Columbus this season, made a bid, but sent it just wide of the right bar.
I mean, you didn't think he had that shooting lane, but he had one extra quick step. It forced City's back line inside, and all of a sudden he was taking a speculative effort that got better as it went and just missed. You know, normally, Neil, you see a feeling out process between the two sides. We haven't seen that. They're both chomping at the bit to go. And from minute one, we've seen end-to-end football, and these two teams clearly know what's on the line today because they're not wasting time here. And AFC Ann Arbor pressing very high against City right now, trying to make City work in that 4-2-3-1.
Which you're all right with if you're City, because of that guy. Fernando Pena is as close to an offensive weapon as you're going to have in a keeper. He wants to get it and go. And
he is so smart in his area, always thinking of the next move. Bobby Fischer would be proud because Fernando Pena plays a goalkeeper's version of chess. I'm going to make my move. I'm going to be thinking of the next one down the road. And he starts the counter very quickly. He can turn a save into a counter and start City the other way.
Don Garcia plays it off his foot and over the line. Another goal kick upcoming as Detroit City trying to build some possession with Jake Rudell. And he's a name that we brought up in the open, plays his college soccer at St. Mary's. He led St. Mary's in goals last year, was a first-team All-West Coast Conference performer, which is a very strong soccer conference in NCAA play. Here comes the Mighty Oak, moving it up the left side, crossed out in front. Odiambo played it just wide of the frame.
City's center backs weren't together in their line. It allowed the run in the middle to take place. The service came across, and a nice job by Jimmy Fiskus to step in front and deny the opportunity to turn for goal. But City's center backs need to do a better job of talking and not allowing that space for the cutting run through the middle.
There's a collision. I believe the foul will go against Liani of AFC Ann Arbor.
He was in there out of control, Neil, and might have been in there studs up. No booking early, but certainly a talking to. We do know there is an assessor in the crowd today that is evaluating the officials. And so, U.S. Soccer.
Which is usually John Krieger, but that's not the case here today.
Yeah, no, the actual assessor is here today taking a look at this officiating crew. Maybe taking a look at their ability to work higher level matches. You know, so there's some
lot on the line for the officials here today as well.
Yeah, but
across the books.
But it can also mean sometimes that you'll see the level of officiating tighten up just a little bit. You want to, if you're an official, you want to know that the assessor knows that you know the laws of the game. And so it'll be interesting to see the standard that's set early here. And there's another quick whistle there on that shoulder barge.
Tyler Stevens grabbed and held. Stevens, the all-GLIAC player at Saginaw Valley State, will take another look at the foul as we're almost 7 minutes into this match. And Chris Odiambo has been a problem so far for AFC Ann Arbor. They've gone forward a couple times here over the course of the first 7 minutes.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to stop running, and you look at him go across the pitch there. He's always moving. He is forcing Carroll and Fiskus to make a decision on how to play him and forcing them to communicate.
Elliot Bentley the target. So John, we've seen Detroit City FC on the flip side of that coin offensively, trying to work the flanks a little bit, just haven't quite connected on the long pass.
Yeah, and that's the difference between a 4-3-3 and a 4-2-3-1. You've got different service options, and you have to be able to get into rhythm because it really puts the offensive onus on that front four, because the back five in that, or the back six in that formation, are more concerned with fogging midfield and starting things the other way. So, going to be interesting to see how City's front four deal with that as they get the attack going early.
Captain Dave Edwardson with the header off the goal kick. Edwardson announced his presence of being back with authority against FC Indiana. A high-quality goal he scored in that match. Here comes AFC Ann Arbor again.
Fisk is going to clear that ball, but that was all Dave Edwardson. He was the footsteps that AFC Ann Arbor heard to rush that pass that allowed Fiskus to step in and intercept.
Danny Deacon with the touch. It lets him down as it was intercepted. Gamwanya, Serge Gamwanya from Norway. He trained with the Norwegian U15 national team, won the Norway U19 national championship back in 2013. So a higher level international guy.
Here now, that set piece in. Nice job there by Elliot Bentley to rise and win that battle in the air, Neil.
Again, AFC Ann Arbor in space. That shot by Montoya is blocked.
That's a better job by the city back line. Didn't move, didn't concede the space, talked with each other, kept the line straight. Service wasn't there for AFC Ann Arbor.
Now Detroit City FC looking to counter. Danny Deacon stepping through, but stepping up and making the play defensively was Mark Ibarra.
Cyrus Sadie with his work rate on full display there, running around and challenging 4 different AFC Ann Arbor players. That was a nice little dummy attempt, but City step in again.
Ball played up towards midfield. Thought it went across the line right here in front of our broadcast booth, but Dave Edwardson collects it. Next 9 minutes are presented by Strategic Staffing Solutions, the official sponsor of the S3 Beer Garden at Keyworth Stadium and the DCFC International Series, the ever popular DCFC International Series.
What an international series it is. Frosinone Calcio coming in. We've already seen FC St. Pauli. Just a great lineup of international matches for the City faithful, and also the Mexican opposition coming in as well.
As we move into the 11th minute here at Keyworth Stadium. Throw-in coming for AFC Ann Arbor. Neil Rule, John Krieger with you. Lindsey Pearson, our sideline reporter. Happy to have you with us on FoxSportsDetroit.com or wherever you're watching around the world. Remember, you can send us tweets with the hashtag WatchCity. We'll read some of those intermittently as the broadcast rolls on, as that ball will trickle over the sideline for a throw-in. Lawrence Manning tweets at us and says, so not only am I sick and have to miss City play Ann Arbor, but now I'm stuck at Chuck E. Cheese because the buyers are at my house getting the inspection done. I'll have to watch City on my phone. Well, Lawrence, I hope the inspection goes well. Good luck in getting a new crib there. Big time, getting the house sold. Here comes an opportunity. Jake Rudell is cut off at the last moment by Stanley Okumu, and boy, that was a big play by Okumu because Jake Rudell was looking to party.
Yeah, he had space there, and if that pass had gone through, he could have done some very special things. Nice job to read the service, step in and make the play.
So Detroit City FC now will go to work. Jimmy Fiskus with that Cowboy Bob Orton-like cast on his right hand.
You know, it's interesting. Jimmy Fiskus, one of the 2 kind of cross storylines in this fixture. Fiskus spent time with AFC Ann Arbor previously. He's been on the other side of this rivalry. And then there's the Lisinski family. And I will pause as service comes in.
Rudell sends it across, and it's played away at the last moment by Montoya again. Tyler Stevens had jumped up into the offensive third and was looking to do some damage. Montoya with a big-time defensive play.
You got to try to step around Montoya, but this is a good job to read it. There's a little flick on, and Stevens is there. If Stevens could have kept coming toward the ball, I think he beats Montoya to it and might be able to redirect it in on goal, but we've got a corner here.
Deacon sends it in short, headed away tidily by AFC Ann Arbor, but the throw-in coming for DCFC.
And now I'll pick up on the Lisinski family. Alec Lisinski has played with Detroit City FC before, spent the last 2 years on the squad at AFC Ann Arbor. Why is that of note? Because his father, as of this year, is a co-owner of Detroit City Football Club. We had a chance to sit around next to him in the DFCU lounge for the Harpo's friendly, and somebody asked him who you're rooting for when Detroit City FC plays AFC Ann Arbor. He said, my kid. And I can't blame him for that. I really can't, but it's an interesting storyline that the investment potential and the things that City are doing was enough that Mr. Lisinski wanted to be a part of it. But his son, because of his job and because of where he lives in Ann Arbor, playing for the Mighty Oak.
J.P. Ryla through midfield. Played it right to Brad Santala. Here comes Cyrus Sadie on the move. Sadie cut off by Okumu. And Okumu escorts it over the line. Stanley Okumu, the native of Kenya, played for the Kenyan U23 national team this year. Also played in the Kenyan and South African Premier Leagues as well. So another experienced international for AFC Ann Arbor.
Yeah, and then they come over here and you've come to the United States either for the university game or for other reasons, and you are introduced to this type of game. It harkens back to what Eric Castro of FC Indiana was talking about last week, and the ability to season yourself a little bit with the more physical type of game that's being played here and get noticed by a different set of eyes. It's a healthy international contingent for AFC Ann Arbor. You've got players, as you said, from Kenya, Brazil, Norway, Trinidad and Tobago, Holland, along with some Americans as well, but a certain international flavor for the Mighty Oak.
J.P. Ryla sees the wind, grab a hold of that one and pull it over the goal line. So a goal kick upcoming. AFC Ann Arbor in those road white kits. And you already know what Detroit City FC's packing here kit-wise at home. Big fan, though, of Fernando Pena's, the Johnny Cash goalkeeping kit, straight black.
The man in black, there it is. And the man in black, look at that, just backing off of the goal kick. He saw something he didn't like from the formation of his players as he was about to punt it downfield. Stopped it, changed somebody in midfield, and then sent it up.
Well, Fernando Pena, he looks at that as an opportunity, man, to get things going offensively. And if he doesn't come through and put the kick exactly where he wants it, he gets upset with himself,
yeah,
man. He does.
He's a striker in a goalkeeper's body.
Absolutely
is what he is. He wants to get. I would love, before Fernando is done here in Detroit, to see him be forward on a set piece in some kind of situation where City need a late goal and score one. I can imagine that the celebration would be nothing short of epic for Fernando Pena.
Speaking of big-time experience, Pena played for the U17 USA men's national team as well. He also got a good look there at Ben Pierman in his 6th season here at the helm of Detroit City FC. Also an assistant coach at Michigan State as well. Won 2 Big Ten titles and 3 NCAA tournament appearances as a player during his time at Michigan State. Cyrus Sadie plays it away. And Cyrus gets it back, but a turnover. Montoya. Sheehan. Pena makes the grab.
That's a great job by Pena to step out. Why? Because there was an AFC Ann Arbor player making a run toward the back post. Pena knew it. He got there first and was confident as he claimed the ball and didn't allow it get through to the AFC Ann Arbor player. Look at this. Goes out to the side. Service is coming. It's in the air, and oops, there's somebody on the back post. Pena takes a look at him, rises in the air, claims confidently with 2 hands.
Abby's name, our good friend tweets at us, says the smoke looks glorious on the Watch City broadcast.
Not wrong.
No doubt about it. NGS in Alamo City checking in from San Antonio today. Going to enjoy the best announcers in soccer, and John Krieger and Neil Rule, the #1 stream team. Well, hey, the check is in the mail, my friend. I appreciate that.
The check is very much in the mail.
Andy and CA tweets at us. Howdy from San Diego. Sarah Alexis Miller tweets at us, says I'm watching City from Portland, Oregon. Another city that knows how to chop down old dying trees. Go DCFC. Thomas Marks tweets at us, supporting from Germany. So as usual, we go worldwide here on the Watch City broadcast. Appreciate you checking us out wherever you are watching. FoxSportsDetroit.com on your Roku, Apple TV, laptop, tablet, phone, in an airplane. And remember that too, if you're sitting in an airplane, tweet a picture. We'll send it right to the front of the line.
If you're joining City from a mile in the air, you've earned the opportunity to get some recognition.
The next 9 minutes are brought to you by Motor City Casino Hotel, the official casino hotel of Detroit's soccer team. Mark Ibarra trots across the field, plays his college soccer at Michigan, was on the Big Ten All-Freshman team last year. Matter of fact, had an assist on a goal in Michigan's loss to the Oakland Golden Grizzlies last year. Ball up by the far touchline.
Oh, nice job there by Fiskus to use his body, but then he gives it away.
See if Ann Arbor can capitalize. Right-footed shot by Liani. But Fernando Pena, the man in black, says negative.
And he stepped inside, then stepped out, got away from his defender, and had a shooting lane with a bit of a screen. Oh, look at that. Little dipsy to inside. Whoops! Oh, and there's the screener coming through. And Fernando Pena saw it all the way. Oh, look out here.
AFC Ann Arbor again. This could be trouble. Pena off the line. Right ahead of Liati. AFC Ann Arbor dangerous now as that high back line comes into play one more time. Odiambo, the cross. Pena makes the grab again, but heavy duress right now for AFC Ann Arbor, setting up shop in the Detroit City final third.
Yeah, a bit of a shambles at the back right now, Neil. City trying with the high press, and the high press getting beat. Defenders need to take an extra step back at the moment. And credit where credit is due. Fernando Pena off his line 3 times, stifling out AFC Ann Arbor potential attacks.
Long ball sent ahead one more time towards Danny Deacon. Again, unable to get on the end of it. As Novotny makes the grab and now scoops it up. He will survey the situation. More tweets coming in with the hashtag WatchCity. Reagan Bartha tweets at us, hello from Madison, Wisconsin. You all better be headed to Wisconsin to watch City next week. Major Tom tweets at us, today I have to watch City from East Lansing. Just a reminder, Lansing United blew a 3-0 lead with a man advantage. That always seems to make its way through the social media channels. And your line about Fernando Pena possibly scoring a goal one day has got the Watch City tweet timeline abuzz. Connor Butcher says the scenes of Fernando scores in the Rouge and Gold. And that's just kind of a summary of a bunch of the tweets we've gotten.
Yeah,
Fernando Pena, a fan favorite, no doubt.
I have a feeling that if Fernando scored, he would make the Lambeau Leap look like hopscotch. I think he would head for the supporters very quickly.
22nd minute of play, no score. But John, as we take a look at the assessment here of this first 21 minutes and change of the match, make no mistake about it, AFC Ann Arbor's had the field tilted.
Yeah, and part of that, I think, is City adjusting to a little bit different formation than they're used to playing. Part of it is AFC Ann Arbor's pace. Their wings are very pacey, their forward line is very pacey, and they communicate well with each other to take advantage of right now what is a City back line that is not as together as it should be.
And John, I always defer to you in terms of tactics, but I also have to say this, the back line of AFC Ann Arbor really is the gasoline on the fire right now. They are the ones that are creating this frenetic pace that Ann Arbor's playing at.
Well, first of all, they're better with the high line than Detroit City has been. Second of all, they are taking advantage of the fact that City, through the midfield, has not been as effective today. And a couple of times they've tried to get service up to Rudell through Deacon or to Deacon with longer balls. That allows that back line, because they know they have the pace to compete, to step in and intercept. City is not normally a team built to play the long ball, the long delivery, and they've tried to do that today. And AFC Ann Arbor's pace, which is always a weapon, has allowed them to step in and disrupt that opportunity.
Well, how about that effort from Fernando Pena?
And
that was quality.
And kept it in his area, by the way.
Right. High quality play from Fernando Pena. More tweets with the hashtag WatchCity. This is a new one, guys. At Zach the Brown. Got to keep up from Morocco. Hashtag WatchCity. I'm fairly confident in saying that's the first ever tweet we've gotten from Morocco. Could you pick Morocco out on a map?
I could,
you
actually.
Could? All right.
I could pick Morocco. You know, and but that's only because they're bidding for a World Cup. Oh, hold on.
Fernando Pena has to be sharp.
That was a, I'm going to catch Pena off his line, napping ball. and Fernando Pena just did the equivalent of a center fielder reaching over the wall to rob a home run.
He brought it back, no question about it.
That rode the current, and that was going in. And Fernando Pena got the 2 hands on it. And by the way, one hand to try to tip that over the bar, that goes under the bar, and it's 1-0. 2 hands up, enough control on the ball. Now, this is the opportunity for City right here. Look, the defenders have come forward. They're in the attacking third. AFC Ann Arbor set 4 men near the throw-in. Look at them collapse on the ball, and it works. And they get the turnover and come back. And that's a great 1-2 touch. And watch out, they've got space.
Montoya giving chase, but Brad Santala solid. Sends it up ahead to Tyler Stevens, and Detroit City will get the throw-in. Let's take another look at that near goal from AFC Ann Arbor from midfield.
Whoops, brought it back. That was going in. And Fernando Pena watched it all the way and tracked it and kept it out. That's your man of the match there so far right now.
Gimwanya had it played away. Cyrus Sadie creates the turnover. Sadie through midfield, trying to thread the needle up ahead, but here's Danny Deacon on the right side. Deacon in the 18, left-footed shot is headed away by Stanley Okumu, but Danny Deacon looking for a high-quality strike, and Okumu is down.
Danny, that was bending toward the goal, and Okumu sold out the body.
That was a top-notch effort from Okumu. That was, watch this, it was an intentional header by Okumu to clear it.
Yeah, knew that was the only part of his body could get there.
Look at that, perfectly.
He just put it in, sold it out, and took one for the team.
So Danny Deacon will serve the corner. As Dave Edwardson having a chat. And now there's some conversations being had with the officials. Some colorful language, I would assume, being used.
Happens every now and again. Now look, AFC Ann Arbor putting men on both posts. That allows City to crowd the 6-yard box. And at the moment, Novotny is trapped behind 2 players. If you can get this into the mixing bowl, this is not a good position for Novotny to try to claim this ball. City needs to clog the area, get it in there, a low fizzer, and put it down at his feet.
And right now they're giving the protocols to Okumu. So we'll see if Okumu is allowed to proceed in this matchup.
And by the
Player
way,
injuries brought to you by Henry Ford Health System, the official sports medicine provider of Detroit City FC. So they are out there doing what they do right now. They give the thumbs up to Okumu, and he'll be allowed to return. The corner serve towards the back post. Cyrus Sadie steps through. Plays it back. Tyler Stevens, the chip. Headed in the air. The offside flag is up as Santala got ahead of the crowd.
AFC Ann Arbor's back line, good job to take 2 steps up. Mixing bowl was full. Service came back in. Back line looked at each other, took 2 steps up, and left Santala out to dry, and he makes contact, and the flag goes up.
The next 9 minutes are brought to you by Henry Ford Health System, the official team physicians of Detroit City FC.
Better from City here. Look at Santala through midfield. Nice step over, and then gives it away, but City keeps possession.
Elliot Bentley mixing it up on the left side. Bentley and Azad Liati. And that will be a punishing matchup between Bentley and Liati. Expect more of this here today.
Yeah, those 2 have been talking all match. And we're gonna see some more from them. Now, free kick here from midfield for AFC Ann Arbor. And the way they're setting it up, I wouldn't be surprised to see them reverse field. You got 2 players wide open and unmarked near space. In space on the near touchline, and they do send the crossfield long ball in, and a nice head there by Jimmy Fiskus.
Pena makes a grab.
And that's a great job again by Fiscus and Pena to take the danger away. Clear foul there on the far side by AFC Ann Arbor. Physicality going to be a thing all day.
And now for the Henry Ford Health System Sports Medicine tip of the game. Hip injuries are a common occurrence. An athlete will feel pain either on the outside of the hip or in the groin area. Most hip injuries can be treated with rest, anti-inflammatory medication, and ice. And you can learn more at henryford.com/sportsmedicine. Well, if it has to do with inflammation, I should be checking that out. I'm getting to be an old man, Mr. Krieger.
You know,
falling apart at the seams.
I feel your pain, and that's going to be a foul against Detroit City, and that draws the ire of a couple of LaRouche players, but that's a good decision by the officials.
Should we take another look? Late challenge.
And there's the late leg that brought him over. Okumu there, and a late leg for the City player.
Well, Stanley Okumu has been a problem for Detroit City FC here today as well.
On both ends, by the way.
Yep.
He's someone who is unafraid to make trouble on both ends, is Okumu. A defender not afraid to come forward. Very much like a Kyle Walker, Danny Rose for England coming into the attack. Has that pace to be able to come forward and make trouble and then get back.
Ryla reverses the field nicely. Liotti trying to step through.
What a great clean step in there.
And here is Cyrus Sadie.
Go.
Tried to find Fiscus just a little bit too far, and Okumu clears it away temporarily.
AFC Ann Arbor's pace is forcing City to kind of compact on itself right now. They're too close together, Neil. Normally on a counter like that, you'd have 2 or 3 players bombing forward. There was no one for the service to go to. And it's because of the fact that AFC Ann Arbor has run at Detroit City FC all day. And it has forced City kind of out of its element.
Just over a third into this match, 0-0 the score. Detroit City FC, AFC Ann Arbor. Detroit City trying to keep a hold of their destiny in the Great Lakes region standings. AFC Ann Arbor sitting on the top of the pack right now. They've conceded just 2 goals all season long. We knew goals were going to be at a premium here today. They certainly have been. Garcia wide to the left side. City will try their luck with Elliot Bentley. Oh, a nifty move by Bentley. Garcia, and one more time it's taken away by Okumu.
What a nice job to get over there and step into that ball. Okumu, watch this, little nifty little play. Garcia turns, his touch is just that much too heavy, and here comes Okumu. Oh, you're gonna give me space to get on the ball? Fine, I'm gonna take it.
How about that touch from Elliot Bentley, though?
Sweet.
That was quality. City controls a throw-in. Danny Deacon, Edwardson, the touch, throw! And off the line, Novotny cleans up the mess.
2 words, Neil, artificial turf. On a natural grass field that's turned in, perhaps it'll check up on the natural surface. Here at Keyworth, the ball runs. It's probably one of the fastest pitches in the NPSL, and it just ran too far and allowed Novotny to collect.
Garcia the target, he's 1v2, however. But Detroit City will come away with the possession. Edwardson, too much mustard on the hot dog to Rudell, but he steps through with it. Rudell's cross in front of the cage is played out. But this Detroit City FC attack, John, coming to life in the last few moments.
Absolutely, much better. Aaron Garcia's got to finish his run. He stopped and got caught ball watching. If he kept running at that ball, Rudell kept his head on his swivel, saw the man in the area, and put it across the box. Garcia, that far forward, has to keep going toward goal.
Corner sent in, the foul will go against Detroit City. But now, DCFC bouncing back a bit as Novotny will put the boot to it.
Novotny has a good keeper's punt. He will send it downfield and places it well And a nice flick on there, and an even better job by Carroll to send it back forward and not allow the two AFC Ann Arbor players to step forward and start their run on.
More tweets coming in with the hashtag Watch City. Acting Coach Austin says, I'm watching City from Kansas City. Shout out to Chris and Pam at the game. So shout out to everyone in KC. Hopefully you're taking in that Gates Barbecue, one of my favorite restaurants in the entire world. Great defensive play by Garcia as he just comes in and takes it away, and then it's taken back away.
Good decision on the no foul call there. He went over easy.
Tyler Stevens jumping up into the attack. Finds Rudell. Rudell 1v1.
Finish the run.
Rudell cross is played out, but they will earn a corner.
That's a smart play by Rudell. Smart play. Saw nobody was coming, no help and a defender closing him down, and he was able to just blast it off for the corner. That's a forwards mentality. What else can I do from that angle? I'm going to give my team a chance at a set piece.
Here is Danny Deacon. In swinging corner. Served up towards the back post. High in the air. Cleared out. Tyler Stevens. Cyrus Sadie. The chip. And Novotny will make the grab. We were talking about the tweets with the hashtag Watch City. Our PA announcer here at Keyworth, Ted Shoemaker, tweets from the room next to us. Says it's getting spicy in this booth with Neil Rule and John Krieger on a Sunday Fun Day Club Ted experience. So Ted, just let me come over here. Ted, thanks for the tweet. All right, he gives me the thumbs up.
One of the best in the biz, Ted Shoemaker.
That cat's a lot of fun.
Can the club go up on a Sunday?
The club can go up on if it can go up on a Tuesday, it can go up on a Sunday. Tuesday's always a litmus test. If you can get the club popping on a Tuesday, then you're in good shape. 0-0 the score. 36th minute. Neil Rule, John Krieger with you. Lindsey Pearson, our sideline reporter. Make sure you stick around at the half. Lindsey will get the thoughts of head coach Ben Pierman.
Interesting in the 4-2-3-1 that City's running. Dave Edwardson is starting to leave Brad Santala on his own and creep forward a little more. Trusting Brad to be resolute in front of the back four.
Here comes Montoya. Montoya forced back towards the sideline, and Montoya loses control of it. But how about that effort from Stephen Carroll? Boy, Stephen Carroll has been very active here, both in the offensive third and the defensive back line as well. The next 9 minutes are presented by Lyft, the official rideshare partner of DCFC. Be one of the first 500 supporters to ride Lyft to next Sunday's match. That'll get you $5 off your ride with the code DCFC GR. Of course, Grand Rapids will be in town next Sunday Fun Day. That will be a good one. How do I know? Because it always is. And make sure you use Lyft to come on down to Keyworth. Have yourself a good old time.
Carroll, by the way, Neil, you talked about his impact on the offensive end. Normally you're taking a look at a defender and you're not talking about his offensive impact, but he had the equalizer Friday in Columbus. He's scored in each of City's last 3 games.
Montoya threads the needle with the pass. Orihiambo. Right foot shot. That was blocked. Ibarra let that one fly.
And that's taking one for the team right there. We heard that all the way up here. That'll leave a mark.
Pass for Deacon, just too strong, but Cyrus Sadie. Cyrus on the spot. Brad Santala challenged by Gawanya. Gawanya taken down. Gawanya
wasn't happy.
He's been barking with the official all afternoon long, and he had some more words.
Well, he's doing the thing that should get him a booking of his own. He's trying to get the officials to give a card.
Boy, look at that.
And, well, okay, he got grabbed down, but what he forgets is that he came in with a rather rash challenge first that wasn't called. Don't flip a card at the official. You ought to get one back. And the other thing I think he was mad about, he thought there was advantage that could have been played, and the officials pulled it back.
That pass just out of the reach of Jordan Montoya as we get another look at Gamwanya. The native of Norway, plays college soccer at Stony Brook, had a goal against Columbus earlier this season for AFC Ann Arbor. Ball chipped ahead by Cawley. Possession Anderson volleyed about. That foul will go against Cyrus Sadie.
And that's a good decision. Cyrus doesn't like it, but that's a good decision.
Zahn Liotti knocked down to the turf. Liotti plays at Saginaw Valley State, had a game-winning goal last year for the Cardinals. 2 goals, 2 assists on the year.
There's the chip, and let's look at this. Here comes Cyrus. Kind of comes in and undercuts the man in the air. That's an easy decision for the official to make.
Liotti was an all-MAC performer, Macomb Area Conference at Utica Henry Ford High School. Ball played into the box, played high in the air. Fernando Pena loses it and punches it back over the line. So Pena, who may be the most sure-handed keeper in the league, makes a mess of that one, taps his chest and says, my bad.
Well, he made a mess of it because there was an AFC Ann Arbor player there, and if he'd gone through him, it would have been a penalty. That player had established position, and Pena doesn't have the right to bowl him over, and so he had to try to reach over and make the play.
Liotti to serve the corner. Liotti plays it towards the back post. It's headed onto the mixing bowl, and Fernando Pena makes the grab.
How did he see that?
Not only did he see it, he anticipated it.
That, hello, coming up, somebody said, cleared the lines up here in the press box and almost put it into the booth.
I was ducking out of the way, and what's funny is...
Woof, look at that. Head on, flick on, player at the back post. Looky what I found. Here's Fernando Pena. Stepped in and read that all the way. Wow. Think about number one.
You know what's funny about that is that ball was coming up here towards the booth. I was watching it in the monitor come at the camera, and I ducked out of the way.
Just trying to get our Watch City fans at home involved.
What's
in
up,
the match.
everybody?
Hello.
I was doing one of these. I wasn't stepping in and providing the header. No way.
Nope.
We'll take another look at it. Here it is, coming right into your living room, everyone. I'm actually kind of concerned with my zeal in getting out of the way. I feel like I should step up a little stronger to provide service.
You know what? I spend the off seasons calling Michigan State volleyball. I've taken one too many volleyballs off the noggin. I don't step in and try to provide service anymore. If you've survived a college volleyball warm-up, you learn to duck really quick.
Liotti taken down to the turf, so a foul called in a very dangerous spot for AFC Ann Arbor. So we get another look as the whistle goes against Viscus. But John, this could be one of the more dangerous chances of the afternoon so far into the evening for AFC Ann Arbor.
Yeah, because there's uncertainty as to what they'll do. If it's further out, you know they're going to try to offer service. They have the opportunity here, though, to either A, go for goal, or B, try to set something up from the training ground. And that little extra uncertainty as to whether they're going to go or whether they're going to try to loft it in there and set something up.
The Brazilian Breno steps over at number 15. They have a couple of options. Jack Cawley there as well.
Pena wants 5 in his wall. Nice job to set that up, and he's doing a good job of setting things from both posts while the referee's in talking. Fernando Pena hasn't stopped working. He's talking to his wall, then he's going to go over and claim the other half the net. He's going to give Breno the target to shoot.
It's Cawley that curls it up and over the bar. So Jack Cawley sent it with the left foot, but couldn't get the dip that he wanted.
The England native with a nice bending ball. Had a little more dip on it. I think it might have hung up in the wind, actually, bending back. Otherwise, it could have headed down into that top corner.
We got a hashtag Watch City tweet that comes in from Pride Raiser. Says the first third of Pride Month supporters groups across the country have already committed more than $16,000 to local charities that serve LGBTQ individuals using Pride Raiser. And it's not too late for you to start a campaign with your supporter group. Go to prideraiser.org for more information. Hashtag Watch City.
And you know what, you said it last match, Neil, there is no place in this world for hate. All of these organizations.
Boy, good cross sent into the box.
Doing great work
on the other end.
And nice job by City to get back in front. and clear their lines here. Great job to just hoof it clear. That ball was reversed across the pitch. And it was a nice job by the city back line to stay in their shape and deny the opportunities.
And that whistle will send the Northern Guard into a frenzy.
Don't know why. Good decision. He put his elbow into his back and shoved. That's a foul.
Elliott Bentley sends it ahead. Rudell was a target. Here comes AFC Ann Arbor trying to mount a charge, and they do. Liotti out wide. Boy, Jimmy Fiskus. Textbook defensively. And Rudell with the flick. Can he get on the other end? And it's cleared away by Colley. Kicked it clear out of the stadium to make sure Detroit City FC could not counter.
You know what? You scream at the official because of the foul that led to the quick kick, but that official knows what they're doing. And when Fiskus came in with a great, clean challenge the other way.
Gamwanya's giving it to the official again for the third time here today.
Going to get a booking for dissent here before too long, and he's being sent away.
As the official continues to engage. You
He's
wonder what
asking
his
him to
breaking
go away.
point is right now.
He's close.
Yeah.
And you can see it on his face, and that's a very good official. He's officiated some high-level games in this area of the country. That's why he's on this match.
As we roll into stoppage time, you're in the first half. Ball sent into the 18 and played out. Elliott Bentley will serve it back up towards the middle. The offside flag was up in the air. Jake Rudell never reestablished himself on sides. Make sure you stick around here at the half. Our sideline reporter Lindsey Pearson will be joined by Ben Pierman to get the thoughts of Caesar in the first half.
There's the Ben Pierman smirk. I think that's probably the expression I see on his face most often. The day I see Ben Pierman smile during a match, I'll know something's very wrong.
Absolutely. Dave Edwardson, the captain. Good touch to Santala. Santala's pass played away. It's just been a struggle to find that final pass. That ball headed on. That was a developing situation for a moment. It's cleared away by Detroit City's back line.
Frankly, Neil, if we're being honest, City is by far the luckier side to be goalless at this point. Unless...
And here comes Rudell. Garcia's running up into the play. Rudell working one-on-one, touches it through. Santala, loose in the 18. Deacon with a shot. Novotny punches it away.
Well, hello, City attack. Welcome. That's what we've been waiting to see all match. Look at this. Santala getting a little too cute there. But then Deacon comes in from behind.
Nothing cute about Danny Deacon right there. He's looking to find the back of the net.
He was going all on it, and a nice job there to realize he was coming and to leave it as it bounced away, and Danny Deacon put everything into it, and Novotny was up to it.
Deacon serves the corner, and we will go to the other side and try it again. 2 minutes of stoppage time as the clock rolls on. Don Garcia will roll over, and he will serve up the in-swinger.
Now Danny Deacon's come all the way over to the near side of the pitch.
That ball played short and cleared out by Liotti, and the whistle sounds as the first 45 minutes comes to a close. But John, over the course of the last 7 or 8 minutes of that first half, Detroit City FC has come to life.
I tell you what, the attack's gotten much better. They're committing more men forward. They're trusting their back line. Their back line has a better shape. We need to see more of that in the second half if you're City faithful. And look at Ben Pierman. He's over there talking to his boys. He sees things he doesn't like. And he's going to start the halftime team talk now. He's going over to talk to a couple of players as they come off the pitch before he talks to Lindsey Pierman. But he's out having a word with the officials. Ben Pierman is livid. He's out having a chat. I've never seen Ben Pierman come out to the halfway circle to have a chat with an official at halftime before. But Ben is going to have a chat with the officiating crew, and he wants to know what's going on. It's a calm and measured chat, but it's an intense chat with the official.
Inquisitive. That's how I'll explain it right now. A very inquisitive look on the face of Ben Pierman. And I wonder if he's bringing up the fact and saying, look, hey, man, how many conversations you going to have with Serge Gamwanya here today?
Flick him the card for dissent, you know, and you're right, he has been chewing, but
he's held counsel today with Gamwanya.
I'll tell you what, though, I will say this, that officiating crew, if you're an official's crew, you never like to be the ones on the camera as you come off for halftime, because it means you've become a focus a little bit. But I'll tell you this,
they've done a good job.
They've done a very good job. And the people that are, you're playing here at Keyworth, and of course there's a partisan crowd, and any foul that's called against City is going to get that kind of derision. But that officials crew has done a very good job. Trust me, Jimmy Fiskus with that clearance with about 5 minutes to go before the half, Neil, there are a lot of referees. That AFC Ann Arbor player went over. There are a lot of referees in the NPS zone around soccer from the angle that our official today was at that might have blown the whistle and pointed to the spot. He didn't. He gave Fiskus credit for a good, clean, clear challenge. And we went the other way, and City almost had an opportunity on goal immediately on the counter. So
let's send it down to our sideline reporter, Lindsay Pearson, standing by with Ben Pierman. Lindsay.
Thanks, Neil. Coach, you haven't been happy with your team's performance in the first half recently. What do you think of their performance tonight?
I mean, the spirit and the fight was there, so that we had not had the first 3 games. So that was good, but again, like, they're getting a little bit more crosses in some corners and some of these knockdowns because they're gambling, they're getting to things. When we break their pressure and we go, we've had half a dozen plays in their end. Now we have to get more of chances, not just movements up top. So, I think the response is good. Ann Arbor's a good team. They have athleticism on the break. They're going long every time, and they're beating us to knockdown. So we've got to win first and second balls, and then we got to make it more of a soccer game. If the ball's on the ground in this half, we'll win.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you very much, Lindsay. Appreciate that. There's the thoughts of head coach Ben Pierman as we roll you into the Henry Ford Health System halftime show here at Keyworth. 45 minutes in the books, 0-0 the score. We got a good second half coming up for you. This is Detroit City FC soccer action. For the first time ever, FC Columbus came to town to Hamtramck and historic Keyworth Stadium to square off against Detroit City FC. A hot and humid evening. Saw both teams, though, hot to start. There was a lot of action going up and down the pitch. The first 45 minutes of play, FC Columbus, the more dangerous of the chances. That man, Damani Kamara, certainly was a factor for FC Columbus here today. Fernando Pena very busy in that first half of play. Detroit City FC with their best chance as Sean Lawson put it across. Roddy Green unable to get on the other end of it. Seb Harris would save the day to start the second half of play with a halftime score of 0-0. But in the 85th minute, Roddy Green, Seb Harris, Sean Lawson, that would turn out to be the game winner, as Sean Lawson in the right place at the right time to give DCFC the 1-0 win over FC Columbus. Time temperatures in the 40s weren't enough to freeze out the spirit of more than 5,300 who showed up to historic Keyworth Stadium to see Detroit City FC take on Chattanooga FC in a friendly. Cyrus Sadie in the mix early on, as he would have some words with the Chattanooga FC players here today. Danny Deacon very dangerous off the free kick. But then DCFC would find the back of the net as Brad Santel on the 41st minute will get LaRouge on the board as they would take a 1-0 lead. Chattanooga FC would play a good chunk of the second half down a man, but it didn't matter. Charlie Clark with the world-class chip would level the match at 1, and that is where we would finish here tonight in Hamtramck Stadium. Detroit City FC 1, Chattanooga FC 1, the final score. A crowd of over 5,400 on hand at historic Keyworth Stadium as Detroit City FC tried to continue their climb in the Great Lakes region of the NPSL, and they would get on the board early as Stephen Carroll would get the party started. Detroit City FC's offense sputtered a bit over the course of the next 20 minutes or so, but then the tide of the match really changed. Sebastian Uranga, the keeper for FC Indiana, sent off in the 40th minute with the red card, and then the floodgates would open for Detroit City. Rafael Menzigen would get on the board for Les Rouges, and the good times, they would keep rolling. Sean Lawson pulled down in the box. The penalty would be awarded. Could Harris deliver? Of course. Seb Harris got on the score sheet, and the goals just kept on coming. City continued to pour it on. Trevor Amon got in on the action. Brogan Shrimpton would find the back of the net as well. And of course, you got to get the captain involved. Dave Edwardson would tickle the twine as well. All told, Detroit City FC with the 8-0 win. Welcome back to historic Keyworth Stadium as the Henry Ford Health System halftime show rolls on. 0-0 the score as we take a look at the highlights from the first 45 minutes of play. On the back of his kit, it's number 1. He was number 1 in Detroit City FC fans' hearts here today. Fernando Pena, a clean sheet through the first half.
Right off the line there, Fernando Pena claiming his area, and this time playing center fielder caught off his line. No, sir. Going back and making the play, and a couple of other redirections for number 1, including a headed redirection that he was able to find. Neil, he's the reason we're still goalless at the break. Fernando Pena living up to his reputation. We said he was a player to watch. Let's also not forget about Mike Novotny in the AFC Ann Arbor goal, because he's only had to deal with a couple of chances, but that Danny Deacon chance before the break, Novotny made his body big and was able to direct it away and kept it goalless on the other end. Not really tested for most of the first 45, but when he was, he came up when it counted. The two keepers battling very well.
Let's peep the stats from the first half of play, brought to you by Henry Ford Health System. The shots, an edge to AFC Ann Arbor, but Detroit City FC with that edge in corners. And John, that really reciprocates what the first half was. Ann Arbor had the advantage, I would say, the first 30 to 35 minutes of play, but Detroit City FC really came to life over the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, and that's where those last 5 corners came in. You saw 1 corner early from City, 3 or 4 in the final 5 to 7 minutes when they committed more men forward, got the ball on the ground, and were able to get passes through that AFC Ann Arbor back line.
Detroit City FC will have the possession to begin the second half of play. The whistle sounds and away we go here at historic Keyworth Stadium. Neil Rulett, John Krieger with you. Lindsey Pearson, our sideline reporter. As the next 9 minutes of play are brought to you by Faygo, the official pop of Detroit City FC. As always, rock and rye, be the GOAT, everybody. And that's not opinion, that's fact.
That is undisputed fact. Tell you what, I'm planning a wedding at the moment, and one of the requests for the wedding is that it couldn't be a wedding without rock and rye. And so the one true pop is fully on display and will be for the Krieger nuptials coming up.
That'll be big time. Let's take a look. Speaking of Faygo, let's take a look at our weekly trivia presented by Faygo. This week's question: how many goals does Detroit City FC have in league play this season? Cross sent in, played out by Jimmy Fiskus, and that is our Faygo weekly trivia. We'll give you a couple minutes to marinate on that. We'll get you the answer in just a little bit. Jimmy Fiskus, the first team all Big Ten performer at Michigan State. Was a 4-star recruit out of Northville High School, just up the road. AFC Ann Arbor, though, John, when you get a look, that high back line has really been the staple of what they've done the entire course of this match.
Yeah, but you know what? They've backed off a step, Neil. Here in the early going of the first half, that high back line has backed off just a titch because Detroit City FC trying to commit more men forward, and they're getting a little respect from the AFC Ann Arbor back four.
Jordan Montoya through the middle of the field. Montoya struck for a goal against Columbus last week. He'll win the throw-in for the Mighty Oak, as they're known. Got more tweets with the hashtag #WatchCity. Andy's in California says Caesar's going to fire up the hairdryer at halftime. Not a good look from Detroit City FC back line this half, so we will see exactly how that changes. The Stray Goose tweets at us, says supporting you guys from Goshen, Indiana. And that ball is through. The offside flag is up, as I suspected it would be. Jake Rudell a step ahead of the pack.
While we get ready for the restart after the offside flag, you know, a lot of people tell us that they really appreciate what we do here on DCFC TV and all the shots that end up turned into Northern Garden memes and other things, and how much this stream matters as compared to some of the others they see in the American game. Well, that's because of the crew that we have here today. Some of their names: your director, Max Hinson; Devin Doxey is your AP; Mike Roy, the replay man; Corey Birds on graphics; Christy Labs is your audio technician. Your cameras are Matt Trainer, Kevin Calhoun, and Zach Foster. Matt Trainer, Kevin Calhoun, Zach Foster, and Matt McCullough. Stats come from Greg Murphy, and the utility is Dylan Hufford. So there's the stream team, folks, the best in the business.
When Christine Labs is in town doing the audio, you know it's a big match and you know it's big time. When you get Labs in the mix, that's professional grade, folks.
I think the whole thing is professional grade, but you are absolutely right.
AFC Ann Arbor with the attack up the left side. Ball curled in to nobody in particular. So a goal kick upcoming from Fernando Pena. More tweets coming in with the hashtag #WatchCity. Our good friend Matt Derry. Love the talk of the kits. Hashtag #WatchCity. And we've been talking up Fernando Pena's Johnny Cash look here today. Huge fan. I know Matt Derry is as well, my broadcast partner with Oakland basketball on television, also in the USPBL on ESPN3. Glad to see D's checking in.
I saw that crew shot the other night for Jimmy John's Field. That quality baseball experience. I got to get up there.
Absolutely you do.
Got to get up there and enjoy a night with the USPBL.
Through the middle of the field, there is Jake Rudell, the All-West Coast Conference first-team performer. And I still think before this match is said and done, you will see number 35 have an impact in some fashion. Ball played through the middle. Here's Tyler Stevens. Stevens taken down, and the foul will be called.
And a good decision. Now, City could have started this quickly. They chose to set up for a second, and they'll just play it back and reset possession.
Alex Rodden tweets at us, or excuse me, Waffle Iron tweets at us, is feeling under the weather, but hunkering down with some Vernors and some Watch City. And Waffle Iron, I would tell you, if you hunkered down with some Fago, you'd feel better. That's a fact, not opinion. Here comes AFC Ann Arbor through the middle. That guy again, Gamwanya, serves it up ahead.
Oh, look at Fiskus making the body big and not giving him a lane to turn it inside.
How about that play by Elliot Bentley? The slide tackle that wins the throw-in. That was high level. Check this out, Mr. Krieger.
First of all, Fiskus denies the lane, forces him outside, and then whoops, there he goes, and keeps it clean. The AFC Ann Arbor player, Easy Liati, went over, I think, hoping for the foul. Nothing doing.
Elliot Bentley transferring from Hartwick College. He'll play with Oakland University under head coach Eric Pogue this fall. Let's get you that answer to our weekly trivia presented by Fago. This week's question: how many goals does DCFC have in MPSL match play this season? If your answer was 21, you were correct. 21 goals in MPSL match play this year. They're looking for at least one here today against AFC Ann Arbor.
21, winner, chicken dinner, and trying for more. Look at Cyrus Sadie just making his body big and drawing the foul there.
Brad Santala plays it back. This gets out to the right side, but John, there's a different feel here. This first 6 minutes plus of the second half. Detroit City FC now beginning to tilt the pitch. Boy, nice build up by Garcia to Cyrus Sadie. Cyrus Sadie keeps it in play. No, that ball was still on the line, it looked like. Boy, if we could, and I hate to produce on the fly, but if we could get another look at that, I thought that ball stayed on the line.
Yeah, Cyrus didn't like that decision. Let's look at this. Coming
still
in.
Still in, still in.
It's off his foot, and
Oh,
he's out
there
of
it
play.
is. Okay, well, hey, that's why I'm not an official.
Good job by the referee's assistant. That's a good decision.
Or a producer. Absolutely right, Max Henson. Sorry to put you guys on the spot like that. They love it, though. They love it when the play-by-play guys produce on the fly. Nothing better than that, right?
Clearly. This is why we give an on-air credit to the replay folks that are there able to produce for you on the fly.
Elliot Bentley tosses it in. Sadie steps through. Bentley to Sadie. Sintala steps back. Sadie wide. Ball played out, another throw in for Detroit City.
I'll tell you
but
what,
John, they are one finish away from getting things rolling.
You're not wrong. And AFC Ann Arbor's on the back foot right now.
Yes,
Those
they
defenders look a little worried. You know, I'm taking a look at them clearing their lines. That's what you do when you have nothing else to do. Like that. When all you're thinking to do is hoof it clear, that is an admission that you've backed down and City had the upper hand.
Liotti to the middle. Liotti gets it back on the give and go. Liotti angling in. The cross redirected. And it's in off the foot of Hadiambo. AFC Ann Arbor, when it looked as though Detroit City FC had swung the momentum, strikes on the road. They take a 1-0 lead.
That's how dangerous the counter is, Neil. It started with Liotti. And frankly, and I don't want to disparage City's keeper, but that's on Fernando Pena. He was next to his post. That's a save he should make. Liotti's there. Nice trip down the wing. Sends it in. Fernando Pena's in position. It just spun off his hands. He tried to come in with his hands narrow and collect. He needed to make his body big and fall over top of that and turtle. And instead, the redirection had spin on it. It spun off of Pena's hands and into the net. That's a save Fernando will want back all day and all night, and he needs his team to pick him up out of it.
So Chris Hodiambo puts it through. Here in the 55th minute, AFC Ann Arbor gets the jump. And John, this is an AFC Ann Arbor team that's conceded goals on just 2 occasions this NPSL season. It's a tall mountain to climb for Detroit City FC right now.
That having been said, though, it is worth noting that they did concede one of those goals on Friday night. Coming in for City, substitution, Trevor Aman coming in. He's had a goal for City this season. In fact, he's had a couple, both against FC Indiana. So the first change being made by Ben Pearman.
The next 9 minutes of play are brought to you by Level 1 Bank. At every home match, Level 1 hosts a different small business in the new DCFC Level 1 VIP section. Vision Media, our small business champion of the match. They're taking in the action with the food and the drinks and the field level seating. Just another one of those great experiences, another way to take in a Detroit City FC match.
Rocking some royal kebab over there too, let me tell you. That's a quality in that.
It's all royal. It is all royal.
Next 5 minutes of this match here, up until about the 60-minute mark, are going to be key, Neil, because the most dangerous time if you're a team that's just scored is to come back and concede. City need to put the foot on the accelerator. They have nothing to lose now. You need to go forward and try to create the same type of chances you played in the first half, like this.
Tyler Stevens crosses it, nobody home on the other end for Detroit City FC.
Nice cutback by Stevens, but nobody had completed their runs.
So we'll see if Trevor Amon can provide a spark. He had a touch. There's Jimmy Fiskus making a big play. Fiskus taken down from behind by Montoya.
Might see a booking here.
We will see a yellow card, I would believe. And now we're getting some words exchanged with Jimmy Fiskus and Montoya mixing it up. And now some extracurriculars as more people join the fray. Fernando Pena intercedes to try to
Guys, don't
get
lose
some
your heads.
peace. Serge Gamwanya, of course, in the middle of it. Jack Cawley over there. So Fernando Pena does a nice job of keeping the peace before things escalated any further. But Jordan Montoya in the books with the yellow right here.
And that's deserving. That's a rugby tackle. That's a booking every day. Now, see, if you're Jimmy Fiskus, no need to do that because you run the risk of drawing a booking yourself. He's already gone in the book. No need to go up there and chest bump him like that because you run the risk of the referee flipping 2 cards. Don't surrender that real estate between your ears.
Montoya officially in the books. Detroit City FC trying to ride some momentum. Trevor Amon goes across, just deflected just enough. And John, that's been the story here every single time. With the last bit of buildup, that final touch, AFC Ann Arbor every single time has gotten just enough of it to thwart the attack.
And those are the 2 words, just enough. Just that one little half a boot, just the one little shoulder challenge. And you know what that is? That's pace.
Oh, and a throwdown by Gamwanya. And you would assume he's got to go in the book at some point. I mean, when is enough enough?
Oh, now come on now. Don't pull a Dario Suarez and bump a referee. Come on now.
JP Ryla getting aggressive, and there's the booking as I thought. We'll see, is it Gamwanya?
No, was
or
it Fiskus?
JP Ryla.
I thought Fiskus picked it up. He showed the card in front of Fiskus.
I'm trying to see where. Okay, there was a straight takedown. Fiskus, the last guy in.
And then he shoved it in.
He did. He got hit with the yellow.
Yeah, and that's Jimmy Fiskus being stupid. No, you don't need to chest bump the guy over there. That's an accumulated yellow card. You chest bump a guy over there and have the referee send you away. And then you come in 3 seconds after the whistle and shove a guy. That's stupid. You deserve a yellow for that. And so does the AFC Ann Arbor guy that picked up a yellow. But Jimmy Fiskus gave away the space between his ears by not being able to control his emotions. Now, I know he played with AFC Ann Arbor last year. This means something to him, but you have to be smarter than that.
Couple of substitutions for AFC Ann Arbor. Number 5, Kyle will check into the game, as well number 8, Alec Lisinski. And Jordan Montoya will come out with that yellow. So he is now on the bench. That ball flicked on.
And another just enough touch.
Yep, absolutely, that has been the story. I am surprised, and look, John, I try to approach this job with the high level of professionalism, and I'm just going by what I see happen on the pitch. Serge Gamwanya here today has gotten away with a lot.
Yeah.
Between barking with the official, the one-arm takedown right there that we just saw. He has to consider himself fortunate right now.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, that's a factual opinion. We can go through the tape if you want. We've seen it here today. And there's a look at Gamwanya.
And for as critical as I was of Jimmy Fiskus, Gamwanya has done a couple of the same things and gone up to the official and has stayed out of the book. So that's something to be said.
So, hey, man, I mean, if you're getting away with it, good on you, right? I mean, that's part of the game. So you have to give him credit. He's been able to do it. 61st minute, 1-0 AFC Ann Arbor. That ball will be headed over the goal line by Breno, so that will concede a corner out of nothing.
But that's a smart play by Breno because there was a player coming in. He was tracking toward a City player making a run, and he knew enough just to get it out of there.
business picking up here at Keyworth Stadium. Neil Rule, John Krieger with you. Corner, served in short. Headed high up in the air, still in play. Danny Deacon chips it. Boy, Santala was the target. Deacon again, headed out. Cyrus Sadie's play. It's backed out by Kyle.
Good no call by the official. Great no call by the official on that 50-50 ball. The AFC Ann Arbor bench won't be happy, but that's a great decision. Two players going for a ball in space, and Stevens comes through it, and the AFC Ann Arbor player spun, and the easy decision would have been to assess a foul. That's a great no call by the official.
Let's see what happened to Kyle here. He's grabbing his shoulder, and that's why that shoulder got extended as he hit the turf. And that could very well be a dislocation. As always, Henry Ford Health System, the official sports medicine provider of Detroit City FC. Kyle will come off the pitch.
Yeah, and he's not moving that arm, Neil.
Is he going to do the Martin Riggs and try to go up against the concrete wall and put it back into place? Or?
Who was the guy at the Masters that dislocated his ankle in the par 3 contest?
Yeah.
He's going to do one of those where he just kind of jiggles and puts one back in.
There's head coach Eric Rudlin, was the head coach at Lansing before resigning to take the AFC Ann Arbor job. He's also coached at Spring Arbor, Madonna, and Albion. Eric Rudlin's about as good as it gets in the coaching ranks in the MPSL as well. Jimmy Fiskus turns with it. Intensity has picked up. The Northern Guard has picked up. This is going to be a good finish to this one here this afternoon into the evening in Hamtramck. Long ball sent ahead, trying to win the sprint.
Looked like it might have been a handball there.
Odiambo with the cross. Gamwanya will give up and retreat, concede the throw in. As Kyle will come back into the match. And the next 9 minutes of this action are brought to you by Lyft. Every time you ride with Lyft, you have the option to round up your fare to the nearest dollar and donate the change to a charity of your choice. This season, DCFC is matching all donations made through Roundup, and donate on rides ending at Keyworth Stadium. So make sure you take Lyft to the match. Donate the change. Detroit City FC will match all the donations all season long. That's cool. That's all kinds of cool.
Yeah, that's what a lot of what DCFC does, Neil. Not only do they do that, but they have agreed to donate proceeds from alcohol sales here at Keyworth Stadium to charities and youth soccer programs. It is truly a community club, and we see new examples of that every match here at Keyworth.
Jimmy Fiskus with it. Fiskus has been in the mix here today, and he's looking to go on the attack.
That was a good cross-field ball, and
Lamont just couldn't settle it down.
well, I think he was up high with the boot. If he'd let it go through, there was another player on the wing, but he couldn't know that from where he was.
Mark Ibarra turns with it. He's taken down. Foul will be called against Garcia. Substitution coming for
Jonathan
Detroit City
Barnes.
FC. Jonathan Barnes will come into the match. Plays for Finlandia. Had 8 goals for Finlandia as a sophomore back in 2015. So quite a bit of goal scoring prowess. And at this point, John, in the 66th minute, you're down a goal. You're looking for something, anything right now.
Bring on a striker. See what he can do. He's listed as a midfielder, but I'm thinking he'll be more forward in these last 24 minutes.
Tyler Stevens comes out. Jonathan Barnes comes in. Gamwanya unable to catch up with it. '67th minute. Pena looking for Elliot Bentley. Played away by Azad Liadi. AFC Ann Arbor right now, John, will take that trade. Not allow any flow. Eric Rudland has to like what he's seen so far.
Sure, all hands to the pumps and clear your lines. And hold on.
Don Garcia, wide to the right. And there he is, Jonathan Barnes, you called it. He's looking to strike. He goes back towards the midfield, back part of the midfield, but he's looking to move up into play.
No, he's going to bomb forward. He is a midfielder in name only at this point. Move it on forward and let's go.
Elliot Bentley has it played over the line. Quick restart for Bentley. We will get another substitution. And fresh from a stay in Jamaica is Sean Lawson. So Lawson will come into the game. Had the game-winning goal in the 78th minute at Chattanooga. Game-winning goal against Columbus. Can he get it done again? He scored some of the most famous goals in the history of this club. What do you think? Has Lawson got some magic left in him?
I think number 9 always has some magic left in him. Now, the difference is, can they get him the ball? Because now I think you'll see AFC Ann Arbor drop that extra midfielder back to help out the back line and limit Sean-Claude Lawson. And I think the entire job of AFC Ann Arbor's 2 center backs now is going to be to bracket number 9.
Santala with the challenge. There's Barnes again. Ibarra sends it out wide to the left. Alec Lisinski. Cross goes all the way through to Bentley, who punches it back out towards midfield. Sean Lawson slows down, and the handball will go against the mighty Oak.
The hair game is strong there for number 9.
Hair game is always strong. I mean, there's none better in the lettuce game today than Sean Lawson. That's another fact, not opinion. Ibarra sends it right to Elliot Bentley.
That's a rare poor touch from Ibarra today.
Lady sends it towards the corner, but that will track over the touchline. More tweets coming in with the hashtag Watch City. Doc Morcati tweets at us, a family that Fagos together stays together. That is accurate. Lots of correct answers, too, to the Fago trivia question. Steve Treppa tweets at us, is watching from the Old Nation Brewery in Williamston.
Have one for us.
Please do. And that ball will just be sent down the pitch.
Say with a long hoof ball there and not enough on it. Going back to what Ben Pierman told Lindsay at halftime, he wanted to keep the ball on the ground. Well, that's not what City's been able to do here in the last 10 to 15 minutes or so. And credit to AFC Ann Arbor on that.
Danny Deacon with the foot.
High hoof ball here.
Sean Lawson collects. Turning with it. Amon. And just again, the last touch.
Not is eluding City.
Stephen Carroll can't get anything on that one. City fans, take your next experience at Keyworth Stadium to the next level by upgrading to the DFCU Financial Lounge. For complimentary food and drinks and on-field seating, go to tickets.tetcityfc.com. That's the best thing going in the Detroit sports scene today.
Fact.
All the food you want, all the drink you want in there.
See that table on the left? That's slows to go in there. Along with all the Axel Brewing Company stuff.
All the libations you could need. Alec Lisinski.
Way to close him down.
Yep.
Way to close him down.
You look up at the clock, though, John. We're in the 72nd minute. And every second that ticks, the noose tightens just a little bit for Detroit City FC.
They do need to come forward. At some point, the two in front of the back line are going to need to commit and leave that back line on its own. We've seen more of that here in the second half, but you've got about another 5 to 6 minutes to play the way you've been playing all match. And then it shifts to AFC Ann Arbor battens down the hatches, and Detroit City FC puts all hands to the pumps and commits forward. Doesn't matter if you lose by 2 goals at this point. You know, you're trying to salvage a point or maybe more. And that starts in about 5 minutes.
The next 9 minutes of play are presented by Detroit City Fieldhouse, Detroit's new indoor athletic facility opening in September 2018. Leagues are now forming. Check out debtcityfc.com/fieldhouse for more information. Detroit City Fieldhouse, Detroit's top athletic facility.
That's a high elbow to the back of Cyrus Sadie. And a little gamesmanship to grab the ball so City couldn't quick kick it.
Danny
Nice ball from
Deacon
Deacon.
sends it into the 18. It climbs towards the sky, but Novotny makes the grab.
Nice ball from Deacon. Rode the wind a little bit, Neil.
That wind at the back now of Detroit City FC. Holding steady between 12 and 15 miles per hour. It doesn't knock you over, but it does affect play. Cyrus Sadie trying to get through. He's shielded rather expertly. AFC Ann Arbor. Leotti. Gaio. Gamlanya. Leotti. Turns it over. Santalo looking for somewhere to go with it. Goes out wide. Barnes trying to ride the touchline, but couldn't. Those are the little things, John. Turnovers like that. Next thing you know, you're taking 30 seconds, 45 seconds off the clock.
Sure. You inspect every stitch on the ball and toss it to your friend. And here comes Sebi Harris.
So Sebi Harris, the former Oakland Golden Grizzly, will come onto the pitch for Ben Pierman. Stephen Carroll will take a seat on the bench. Seb Harris will adjust the captain's armband and roll out. Seb Harris, John, is a guy that can jump up in the attack as well.
We might see a windmill or two. But what he is in there for, Neil, I think, less than his ability to step up in the attack, is his ability to be an absolute
target,
unquestioned voice on the back line. Him being in there allows people to commit forward because they'll trust that back line with him in it to do its job.
And a target on every corner moving forward.
Yep.
As the Tetris begins in the Northern Guard supporter section. Jimmy Fiskus gets it going quickly. Long ball sent up ahead. Santala. Santala still with it. Sends it through to Deacon. Deacon with Bentley out wide left. Bentley. Sadie. Deacon. Sadie turns. Takes on 2 defenders, and the 2 defenders win this time. Sadie mixing it up, but that ball sent ahead. Odiambo on the move. He's got a goal already. Fernando Pena will make the grab, and he wants to get it going.
Screaming at his back line to go.
76th minute. Seb Harris wide to the right. Fiskus can't thread the needle, but City comes away with it. Santala. The flick, come on, won't be able to catch up with it.
That's a nice job by Novotny to come off his line and get that ball into safe hands. Now we're into that final 15 minutes, Neil. Now it's get everybody forward time. Run, run, and run some more.
That throw-in will go to AFC Ann Arbor. Let's see how much time they take off the clock here. 9 seconds, 10 seconds. So again, by the time the player receives a throw-in, 15 seconds have ticked off the clock. Kyle, wide to the left side. Alec Lasinski with the control. Lasinski doing some nice work. And then he turns it over to Rudell. Sean Lawson, boy, big time back heel. Rudell sends it ahead. And nobody's on the other end for Detroit City.
I think that's the wind again, Neil. There's no way. He saw Danny Deacon coming down the wing, and I think he wanted to cross the ball across the field to Deacon in space. And he just put it up in the wind, and the wind took it away. And that's the danger of playing that long ball, is that you subject yourself to the conditions.
AFC Ann Arbor again. Odiambo. Gamanya turns, left foot shot over top of the crossbar.
AFC Ann Arbor so dangerous on the counter, Neil, right back into it.
Oh, did Fernando Pena have a ball like in his pocket or something like that? Like, as soon as that ball went over the crossbar, he was already rolling out, getting ready to get things restarted.
Fernando's just that fast.
Leotti with the possession, 79th minute. Moreno. The Brazilian trying to step through. AFC Ann Arbor content to retreat. Trying to protect that 1-goal lead. And they will whip it out to the right side. Leotti will reverse the field. Lasinski on the other end. That shot will be dribbled ahead. Not much on it by Ibarra. But John, this has been just a clinic right now of possession put on by Ann Arbor. Detroit City FC wants the possession, but they can't get it.
And all AFC Ann Arbor is doing really is closing down the defender and sending it down 100+ yards away from their own goal. See, no real intent here. Just get it into the attacking third. Eat up some time. Clog up the midfield. Don't let things go forward.
Sean Lawson tried to find Cyrus Sadie. Ball punched back towards the frame, but Novotny will retreat.
And here's an old goalkeeper's trick. Dribble it away, and then, oh, I'll just pick it up while you come chase me. And then I get to bounce it around a couple of times. Read the classified ads.
Spin it back towards myself. Now I'll put the boot to it. 80 minutes down. The pressure cooker continues to mount. Here's Sean Lawson. Danny Deacon making a run, but once again, AFC Ann Arbor closes the door.
And that's just a nice job of making the body big by Breno.
Odiambo on the move, the cross. Odiambo turning. Save made by the man in black, Fernando Pena.
That's a match saver right there. City's got to do something with it. A lot of ways that Odiambo could have gone with that ball, and Pena stepped in and made the big save.
This kept Detroit City FC alive, quite frankly.
All sorts of space.
Odiambo just couldn't get everything he wanted on that shot,
And
fortunately for Detroit City.
And part of that is because Fernando Pena came out and challenged. If he'd stayed back, Odiambo would have been able to settle that ball down and probably would have chipped it easy to Pena's left or right.
Jimmy Fiskus. That ball's taken away. Fiskus. Popped up in the air. It's loose in front, and it trickles just wide of the right post by Trevor Amon.
That was it, Neil. There it is. Sean Lawson with a flick. And it was there for Amon to just poke home. Put it up into the mixing bowl. Sean Lawson rises. And Amon just was one step too slow. Look at that flick on, and Amon just couldn't settle it down.
Yep, the first touch let him down. Substitution coming on. Stephen Turnbull comes in for AFC Ann Arbor, replacing Azad Liadi. Liadi played very well here today. The next 9 minutes are presented by Rip It Energy, the official energy drink of Detroit City FC. Danny Deacon through the midfield.
Light drizzle falling here at Keyworth, coming into the press box.
First time all match long. The rain has begun to fall, and that shot will be dribbled wide of the left post by Gawanya. And Serge Gawanya, again, City fans won't like it, and he's gotten away with a lot here today. But John, if you get away with it, you didn't do anything wrong, right? You got under some people's skin, and he certainly has had an effect on this match.
He has occupied some Rouge and Gold real estate today, and he has done his job. You know, the unfair cut of soccer, Neil, is that if you take a look at the 180 minutes or thereabouts, as Sean-Claude Lawson's in space.
Lawson, the cross. That's headed back away, throw incoming.
If you take a look at the 180 minutes close to that these two teams have played, it's a lucky stoppage time goal in Ann Arbor and a save Fernando Pena would love to have back in Detroit. And that's the difference in these two teams and 6 points in the season right now. And that is the difference between City challenging for a conference championship and fighting for that second place spot and a trip to the playoffs. That's how close and how evenly matched these two teams are, that's the difference.
Harvey Moyes comes into the game for Detroit City FC. More tweets with the hashtag WatchCity at Tony Long 17. Says enjoying a Land Grant beer here in Columbus. Let's get that goal back. Hashtag WatchCity. Throw-in coming up for Brad Santala. Into the 85th minute we go. And a giveaway by DCFC. Kyle. Seb Harris will send it back. Danny Deacon steps through. Deacon goes up for Sean Lawson. And it's blasted out of play by Jack Cawley. And Cawley's done that a couple times here today. He takes no chances.
No,
kicks it out of the stadium.
You will not get it back, but that's his job.
Right.
Look out for.
Yep, he's ahead. Boy, nice ball by Seb Harris to the middle. Too far, though, for Danny Deacon. And again, the ball turned over by Detroit City FC.
And now we will take an eon and a half to go get the ball for a throw. And the City ball folks flipping it at the AFC Ann Arbor player, inviting them to hurry things along, please. And the referee has now taken notice. And now we get to the 85th minute, and here comes the rainbow smoke.
One of the traditions here at Keyworth Stadium. So the smoke pours out of the Northern Guard supporter section. Let's take a look at today's attendance, brought to you by Rip It Energy. 5,870 in the house here at Keyworth on a Sunday leisure Sunday afternoon. Danny Deacon, excuse me, that was Santala that was taken down. Now the goal kick will be coming up for Fernando Pena. But they are trying to push their boys through here at Keyworth Stadium to get an equalizing goal.
Fernando Pena taking his time now on this goal kick as some substitutions are being made.
Moko Watson will come in, the All-America East All-Rookie Team performer back in 2015. Played for the Trinidad and Tobago U23 national team. Also played in the Rio Olympic game qualifying matches for Trinidad and Tobago. And Serge Gamwanya, with a smile on his face, he did his job here today through 85+ minutes.
Absolutely, he did. Went right up to that line against the referee, and the referee's opinion never crossed it.
Danny Deacon tried to thread it through, but couldn't.
And one more just enough. Challenged by AFC Ann Arbor.
Jake Rudell had to look for a second. Here's Danny Deacon turning with it. Barnes got through to Sean Lawson, I believe, as the smoke getting pretty thick. The wind today blowing across the field, as you can see, as it's coming into your living room. Sean Lawson. Cross.
That was
Goal
just
kick upcoming.
just a bit of a I have to do something attempt. And now Novotny will look for a new apartment, text his significant other.
Check his portfolio.
Yeah.
Oh, Copper's making a nice comeback, I see, in the market. As the rain continues to drizzle down Keyworth Stadium. Detroit City FC, the final few moments of this match, trying to draw a level. Sadie gets it back from Deacon. Sadie puts on the brakes. Sadie the give and go, and nobody on the other end for Detroit City.
There was the give, but nobody went.
Seb Harris, the old crafty veteran, gets it back. Cross sent in to the top of the D. Deacon steps through.
Oh, that's a great claim by Novotny. City players there, and he came over the top and sold out the body. It looks like we'll have between 4 and 5 minutes of extra time, if I saw the number of fingers correctly on the fourth official's communication with the referee.
AFC Ann Arbor now with some good possession, as they have done quite a bit here today. Kyle sends it out wide to the left. Lisinski turns the shot. Pena got just enough of it to keep it 1-0 and keep his squad in the match.
Fizzed it close. Pena up to the task. And here we go, Neil, into the great unknown of stoppage time. AFC Ann Arbor got one in stoppage time at Skyline High School. Can City return the favor here in Hamtramck?
Danny Deacon. Rudell. That ball blasted out of the stadium again.
3 minutes of time added on at least.
Kyle Breitmeyer will come on for AFC Ann Arbor. So Eric Rudlin.
Kyle Breitmeyer's a forward, which means that his substitution was all about eating up a few seconds that miraculously won't get added back onto the referee's watch.
Brad Santala stepped through a couple of defenders. Deacon. City, though, just unable to move it forward, John. Trevor Amon on the move. The cross, Sean Lawson! And the defender made the stop. Not out of harm's way yet.
Montoya was beat. City fans screaming for a penalty as Lawson was dragged down. And another donation to the neighborhood around Keyworth.
They do not play games on the clearances. That ball trickles over the line. Throw in for Seb Harris. He fires it right away. 3 minutes of stoppage time. Probably about half over right now. Santala sends it in towards the box. Headed up. Ball is loose at the top of the D. Jake Rudell had an opportunity.
He was too close to it. It bounced too high.
Fernando Pena. Back towards the middle. Throw in coming for City. Seb Harris. Fernando Pena getting forward now. Sean Lawson. Amon. Back to Lawson. Right side, Barnes. Tries the cross, it's loose. Taken down in the box was Moyes. Official says play on. Lawson. Cyrus Sadie the service. That was chested down. That'll be a throw-in for AFC Ann Arbor as it went off Santala. There can't be much time left, however.
City's had a couple of chances late, Neil. The one for Amon, the one for Lawson. But the theme for AFC Ann Arbor, their defense always did just enough.
Cyrus Sadie mixing it up with Stephen Turnbull. Quick throw in for City.
City will still have, if this holds, 2 matches in hand over AFC Ann Arbor, but they will be behind by 9 points in the standings.
It's a tall task, no doubt about it, especially given the fact this AFC Ann Arbor squad has conceded just 2 goals going on 8 matches.
And it's also worth noting, Neil, that they will be 3 points behind Grand Rapids.
AFC Ann Arbor comes in and gets a huge road win at Keyworth, 1-0 over Detroit City FC.
These 2 teams are evenly matched, Neil. They're great. We hope we see a rematch of this in the playoffs.
I was just going to say, you know what, John Krieger, I have a sneaking suspicion that the last chapter of this story has not yet been written, and we will see, quite possibly, a trilogy in the playoffs, but that is to be determined. Today, AFC Ann Arbor reigns supreme, a 1-0 road win. Great work by that man, Serge Gamwanya. It's Ben Pierman right now. Obviously upset with the way things went down here this afternoon.
Out to have another word with the officials. Frankly, Neil, these 2 teams played an even match. It's nice, by the way, to see AFC Ann Arbor players coming over and giving Detroit City players respect. These 2 teams know how hard this battle was. The deciding goal, the only goal in this match, frankly, a save Fernando Pena wants back. And I'm sure he'd be the first one to admit it. Not the best effort on that shot, but he made up for it. There were several other shots that could have or perhaps should have gone in that Fernando Pena kept out. It's an unkind cut for him, that the one that trickled off of his hands and inside the post was the softest save he had to make all day, really. And these 2 teams so evenly matched. Also nice to see AFC Ann Arbor celebrating with their own fans instead of going over and trying to taunt the Northern Guard, as so many teams that come into Keyworth do. But these 2 teams, 2 great teams. And I think you're right, my friend. Now the goal for City, let's be honest and frank about it. I don't think AFC Ann Arbor will drop enough points in the regular season that the way they've been playing, I think it's going to be hard to catch them for the overall conference championship. I think it's now a race between Milwaukee Torrent at 10 points, Detroit City at 10 points, and Grand Rapids 13.
Let's send it over our sideline reporter, Lindsey Pearson, standing by with Ben Pierman. Lindsey.
Coach, thoughts on tonight's match?
It was all right. Credit for Ann Arbor. They won it twice. We haven't scored on them, so that you got to give Eric and those guys credit. You know, they'll probably go for win the league now, which is, again, they deserve it. They get the results. I didn't think we played that poorly. Obviously, they're a good team. They do a lot of good things. They make life very, very difficult underneath, and we didn't get a lot of things to go our way. I mean, we had 3 shots inside of the 6 in the last 15 minutes. So you have to score, but we can't give up the soft goal we gave up, and we've got to play better over 90 minutes. With that being said, like, it's the same conversation. Like, these games last 90 minutes. Teams come in here, play very hard, and we have to play harder. Like, we have to scheme. We have to get to loose balls. There's a concept of, you know, wanting things more, and I thought Ann Arbor on the whole today wanted it. Again, we weren't bad. It wasn't like a poor performance. There were poor performances and some things here and there, but we just got to play a little better.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you very much, Lindsay. Appreciate it here this afternoon. So next up for Detroit City FC, let's be frank, it's a tough road trip anytime you have to go to Milwaukee and play, and that is a scenario right now. So they go right from the pressure cooker into the frying pan. A match at Milwaukee on Friday. Turn it around. Grand Rapids will be in town next Sunday here on Father's Day at Keyworth. So now that becomes the largest stretch of games in the season.
Absolutely it is, Neil, because those are the 2 teams you're realistically fighting with for that second playoff spot. Kalamazoo, Columbus, and Indiana not really in the playoff picture anymore at this point. It's 3 teams for 1 playoff spot, and City plays both of those 2 teams they're fighting with now next weekend. One's on the road, one's at home.
And speaking of the Great Lakes Conference Division, let's take a look around the league and see how things are shaping up. And right now in Kalamazoo with a 2-1 lead over Grand Rapids FC, so that is good news.
That's a huge
for
score.
Detroit City FC. If that scoreline can hold, that certainly would be big. Now granted, that would push Kalamazoo ahead of Detroit City FC, but that would return the destiny to Detroit City FC as we take a look at the updated table. And there is AFC Ann Arbor. And I think, John, as you talked about, they are just about out of sight.
Yeah, I think they've run away and hit, but take a look at that score in Grand Rapids. Kalamazoo on 8 points. They get the win. They go to 11, but they go to 11 having played 7. City has played 6. They still have that game in hand.
So still a lot of things will have to sort themselves out, but things will start one step at a time, and that first step is Friday at Milwaukee. So today's match, give credit to AFC Ann Arbor. They came in and pitched another shutout against Detroit City FC, and they get the win by the score of 1-0. For my broadcast partner, John Krieger, our sideline reporter, Lindsey Pearson, and our entire crew, my name is Neil Rule. Reminding you one final time, AFC Ann Arbor with the victory here today, 1-0. Make sure you visit DebtCityFC.com for everything Detroit City. Once again, my name is Neil Rule. Thank you for watching, everybody. Well, see you later.